Radio Rahim here with the man of the hour, Tom Loeffler. I don't bestow that on promoters very often, but I've had to say it to each promoter at one time or another, and this is your spotlight moment, man. Like, you made a rematch that it appeared died 2 or 3 times before today. It's such a new deal. Like you said, we don't even have any official presser happening, but we might not have any official presser happening. I'd like to know how that came about. Did they call you and tell you we don't want to be in the same room with you guys? Was it from your end? How are we in this situation?
Look, Gennady's just do his thing. You know, this fight is so big. We had all the press tour for the first fight. We had the press event here for the second fight. That has gotten basically pushed back now to September. So we're just going to go through everything. Gennady's going to do his media appearances, just like this one here. He's very media friendly, and we're going to promote the fight from our side. You know, we don't need to have a joint event this time around. Golden Boy had made that clear from their side, and we're okay with that. We'll promote it from our side. They'll promote it from their side. But I still think this will far surpass, because of all the bad blood, all the controversy, this will far surpass the first fight, and I think this will be the biggest event in the sport of boxing.
Do you feel like, from the Golden Boy side, they're trying to penalize you by doing this? I mean, okay, you may not need, as you say, to be in the same room, but it helps. I mean, you are still promoting a huge fight. If the press, would prefer one big event where we can talk to everybody than one person, the face-off, all that stuff out the window. I'm just wondering, what do you think the catalyst really is?
No, there's no penalties on either side. I mean, now that we have a fight that's agreed to, we're going to make the best out of the promotion. Now we want to, make the best for each fighter. And we felt that we didn't need to do anything jointly. These guys, like Canelo, like Triple G says, he thinks it's because Canelo doesn't want to look into his eyes. Whatever the reason is, it's for this type of fight. We're going to have the full support of the sponsors. We're going to have all the marketing campaigns, and all the fans know who Triple G is, and all the fans know who Canelo is. And when you put these two guys together, it becomes a huge event. And we're sure we're gonna do a lot of shoulder programming for HBO, but these guys won't be in the same room together or at the same media event until fight week.
Triple G has stated many times that he wants this fight. He likes the idea of fighting Canelo even after all they've put you through. But his very first mission statement as a fighter, when I talked to him 6 years ago even, he wanted to unify and undisputedly be the middleweight champion. With this move from the IBF, having stripped him of that title, do you feel like that's still a goal that's in reach?
I was talking to a few people this morning about that. That was Gennady's goal. He was doing everything he could to get all the titles together. It just was out of our reach with the Saunders fight. Just the timing didn't work out with that last title. Then the IBF puts this situation in place where they actually skipped the rotation, put their mandatory in place. And, look, you can't control a lot of politics in boxing. The IBF decided they were going to vacate the title. That's something that was really outside of our control in terms of, we would have loved to have worked out a deal with Derevyanchenko, with Lou DiBella. At the same time, for Gennady's career, this is the fight that's the biggest fight in the sport of boxing. So sometimes you're handcuffed by boxing politics. The WBC had a mandatory that they were going to call at the same time. So, that's part of the pitfalls. When you get too many titles, where Gennady has, it just, you can't navigate all of them. Although I'm, pretty good at navigating around. I just wasn't expecting nobody, I think, was expecting IBF to vacate the title, because the Derevyanchenko side and Lou DiBella and his manager Keith Connolly, they weren't asking for Triple G to get stripped. They just wanted to have the mandatory set and called, and then that would have given me a chance to negotiate with Lou. But those things are outside of our control now. Right now, we're going to focus on September 15th. Canelo Alvarez. I mean, this fight is really above the titles, because this is the two best guys in the middleweight division fighting against each other. And so, if it's for all the titles or for no titles, I mean, this is really the biggest fight of the sport. And I think we see by the fan reaction, by the media reaction, of the magnitude of this fight.
The plan B, which is, boxing fans are sometimes happy, but certainly never satisfied. So when they heard that, hey, maybe we could have got a Billy Joe Saunders Triple G matchup, another unification fight, they were excited by the prospect of that. I'm assuming that is not off the table. Who knows what could happen in the coming year or so. But it did seem a little curious that that was the plan B, considering where Billy Joe Saunders claimed to be physically and whatnot against his fight with Murray. How did that plan B come about, and when did Billy Joe Saunders agree to possibly face Triple G if Canelo fell out?
No, we had a very quick negotiation. I told Frank Warren that it looks like the Canelo fight's not going to happen. This was the first time. We did have an agreement last year for the Expo, which that didn't come about. There were some date conflicts there. But this fight would have happened. They had agreed on their side, and a lot of fans would have liked to have seen two undefeated champions fighting against each other. That would have been a great promotion between Triple G and Billy Joe Saunders. That would have, if Triple G had been successful in that fight, he would have added another title to his collection, and that's been his goal. But because we were able to work out the deal with Golden Boy and with Canelo, then we're going down this road, and I think. Look, Triple G wants to fight 2 more times this year, and if he's successful in September, I wouldn't be surprised if we can do a fight in December, either against Saunders, Murata, Charlo. There's a lot of great names for Triple G out there, and this is a great time for the middleweight division.
Was there any talk of injury when you were negotiating with Saunders for a possible fight in August?
Yeah, I mean, he was injured for the June 23 fight, but we were talking about. That's 2 months later, August. We were talking August 25. So, they had represented that by that time his injury would have healed. He could have started training again. But that wasn't a big setback in the negotiations. It was, but our understanding is that he'll fight again sometime in the fall with Saunders, and then. We'll see if we can put that fight. That's the fight that Gennady's wanted. That's been a very elusive fight for him, and Billy Joe had a great performance against Lemieux on HBO over here, and if he fights 1 or 2 more times, we can really build that fight up. If Triple G beats Canelo, then that fight becomes a much bigger scale.
And lastly, you've got the Ring Magazine belt now. Triple G's
the belt, the pound for pound.
The pound for pound belt. Excuse me, that's exactly correct. Which is a hallowed ground, to be sure. Triple G has done quite a bit in the sport. He's in his 30s. If not his stated goal of undisputed middleweight champion, as a promoter, you have to start looking towards how you're going to round this out. Like, what finishes his career? What do you think, not just for him personally, but for you as a promoter, you would feel like satisfies his legacy to where he might hang these gloves up in the coming years?
It's hard to say. We go fight by fight. He's always wanted to fight the best. This fight with Canelo Alvarez is the 2 best middleweights getting in the world, getting together in the ring. But if a fight with Saunders can be made, if there's a super middle, Chavez apparently is training again, allegedly. Gilbert Ramirez is a great champion, 168. Benavidez is a champion, 168. So I think there's
been a serious discussion of 168.
There was before, not for right now, because right now the focus was either Canelo or Saunders. But you never know what's going to happen. Murata, if he goes to Japan and fights Murata, that's a huge fight, for him. So, like I said, there's a lot of options on the table right now. His focus on Canelo Alvarez. If he wins against Canelo, or at least if he wins again and gets a decision this time, then his career will be at a different level. He'll break 1 million buys again on pay-per-view. Who knows? We'll set another record for the ticket sales. So, he's in a good position right now. He's very comfortable mentally where he's at. He feels he got the respect from the negotiations, and this is a great fight. Look, it's a great fight for Canelo, and it's a great fight for Triple G, and it's a great fight for the fans of boxing. So we're looking forward to September 15th.
Well, thank you for sticking in and making it, whatever it took. Radio Rahim with Tom Loeffler, getting ready for Triple G Canelo, September 15th. Pleasure to talk to you, man.